Welcome back, guys. It's been a while since my last video, but I've been kind of waiting on a lot of parts to come in. So parts are coming in now. We're going to keep pounding away on the Le Mans. Today we're going to be tackling the front brakes. I've got a big brake kit in. I'm going to show you guys how easy this kit goes on, and it's a pretty cheap upgrade over your, if your car's got factory drum brakes, it's going to be a huge upgrade. But cars like mine, like where I've already done a front disc conversion years ago, but it's a basic 11-inch rotor. I'll show you what I got. So what I bought was the CPP big brake kit. What it uses is the Corvette C4 13-inch rotor, and that's the 11-inch rotor I took off. So, you can see just how much beefier and bigger this guy is. Like this rotor's got some weight to it. And the kit uses the C5 Corvette dual piston front caliper. Alright, so it's not like the expensive Willwood brake setups that you're going to see, which are about 3 times the cost. This kit, it comes with the polished aluminum billet adapter, and all you need is your bare spindle, except actually you don't need a bare spindle. What you need is your factory drum front hub. So I had ditched those front hubs years ago when I switched to the basically it's a factory disc conversion for these cars for any A body. This kit will do 64 to 72 A bodies. So that's all your Cutlass, GTOs, Chevelles, Novas, stuff like that. But I ditched the hub because these guys, the hub's basically built into the rotor. But if you use your factory drum hub, that's what this kit works with. So through CPP, I ordered their hubs, like just factory drum hubs. These things were like $60, so they're not pricey by any means. And they don't come gray like this. They come bare steel. I painted it just like I painted everything else, just so it looks nicer, doesn't rust up. But yeah, I'll show you just how easy this kit goes on. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how it looks. Now these polished pieces go on first. They fit together really nice. And it actually doesn't really come with, I didn't find any instructions on how to assemble, but it's pretty straightforward. Didn't take me long to figure it out, but I like to put a little bit of Loctite on this bolt anyway. Better safe than sorry. Comes with 2 different length grade 8 bolts to use, depending on, I guess it depends on the application. This kit's used on many different vehicles, but mainly A bodies. Just gotta make sure you get the right length bolt in there, or else you're gonna be hitting stuff. And your spindle might look a little different from mine. This is a 2-inch drop spindle. It all goes together the same, but yours won't have a stock one won't have the second set of bolt holes here. put your weight into it. All right, that's it for the bracket. If you already had your factory hub on, you pretty much you have to take it off. There's no way you're gonna get this stuff on with it on. So I just left this off. If you do a new hub, hopefully you know how to pack a bearing. The new hub comes with new bearings, new seal, new everything. Packing bearings are not hard at all. But make sure you fill her full of grease too, or else you're gonna burn out those new bearings. Put my cotter pin in later and we'll get the wheel on later. So next we'll put the rotor on. One thing I noticed, the hubs came with new studs as well. They're a little bit longer than the factory ones. Like the hub itself comes with studs, but then the bearing kit and everything has a second set of studs that were a little bit longer. And the reason for that is this rotor, like that's thick. That's thick. That front plate's like almost 1/4 of an inch thick. It's at least a good 3/16. So you slide that over the factory studs that are in this thing, and I'll show you one of the factory studs. That's the factory stud. That's what comes in this thing. So what I did, I spray painted some primer on it, and then I dry fit I took the hub, I put the rotor on it, stuck it inside my wheel, and then threaded on my nut. That's how much stud my nut was catching. So like there's no way that's gonna last. You're gonna lose your wheel in a heartbeat. So even with the studs that came with it to replace these short guys with, it wasn't much longer. I have aftermarket rims that have a really thick flange, and it just wasn't gonna work. So these studs are longer. They're about 3/4 of an inch longer than what I had in there, and one size larger. So I had to actually drill the holes out a little bit, pound these guys in, and now we're good to go. But if you have factory rims, you shouldn't have to go this big. The ones that came in the kit will probably be fine, because it'll make up for the thickness of the rotor. But because of my rims and the rotor, the studs that came with it were not going to work. So now this nut, because I don't have my rim on, I don't even think this nut's going to help me. No, it's not even going to hold it in place. that will. Oh, no, wait, that nut's not for that. I went bigger, so I want bigger nuts. Helps if I had the right nut, eh? There. There's no way that bolt's right. That bolt's gonna bottom out before it's gonna hit the rotor before it meets the surface. So I really wish instructions came with this, but one thing I noticed was the bolts that came with the caliper were gonna bottom out and hit the back of the rotor. So there was a bag of nuts and bolts that came with the polished brackets. So I'm just using a washer from that. It didn't come with the caliper itself. It came with the polished bracket, and I can only assume that you have to use it with these guys because that spaces away just that little bit that it needs to not hit the rotor. So, I mean, instructions would be helpful, but there weren't any. So I just want to show you guys just how close the clearance is that I'm talking about here. See that bolt? Like that. That's tight. That one down there's got a little bit more space. But that's with the washer stacked in behind. Like, that is mucho close. And this kit comes with, it actually comes with braided brake lines. Comes with a set of braided brake lines, which is nice. But I guess the factory ones probably wouldn't be long enough. Because with this being larger, it swings away from the frame further, right? And it'll tell you when you buy the kit, you can't run a rim that's smaller than 17 inch. You won't be able to get it on. 17 is as small as you can go. Comes with everything, your banjo bolt, your copper crush rings, new clips to hold your brake line to the frame. So as you can see, got the braided line attached over there. I'm not going to connect this brake line yet because I think I'm going to be changing that out for a stainless line because I've purchased a new master cylinder, which if you're switching from drums to brakes in the front, you will have to buy a different master cylinder. That one there, I mean, I'm doing front disc and rear disc. So I gotta get a disc, master cylinder. But for this guy, it's pretty much done. See, I just gotta make sure my brake line's not gonna hit anything. I don't like where that is. I might have to go down like that. That might work, but we'll have to see once the wheel's on. The wheel's gonna, I don't want it touching anything. But that's her. I mean, the kit's $400. I had to buy new hubs because I threw my other ones out. So there was an extra $120. But considering just doing a Willwood front setup was gonna run me like $1,300. It's just not in the budget right now. I've got too many other things I want to do to the car. I don't want to break the bank in one aspect of it. So, I mean, that's going to fill the rim a lot more than the those 11-inch ones did, and they look a lot better. So, I'm happy with how it turned out, and I expect it to work a lot better than the factory ones did. But, you know, for $520, and I mean, if you already got hubs, you're going to be around $400. That's a pretty nice upgrade. That's all for today.